Good morning, and welcome back to pardon me. Welcome back to our first playthrough of Distant Worlds Universe, released yesterday on Steam and available from matrixgames.com. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday and run this for a couple hours, and we'll see what we can do. Wait till the game is loaded, and I'll go through a couple of quick feedback on where we ended yesterday. For those that may be new, Distant Worlds is actually a game that is about 4 or 5 years old, with an expansion released just about every year since its original release. Distant Worlds Universe is the fourth and final expansion for the Distant Worlds 1 series. However, development is already underway, from what I understand, of Distant Worlds 2. So this game has given me a lot of enjoyment over the past several years. It is, again, for those new to the game, it is a 4X pausable real-time strategy game. Think a mix of Masters of Orion and Sins of a Solar Empire, something like that. That kind of mix of strategy, exploration, and real-time, and that's kind of what you have. So we started out in a 15 by 15 sector galaxy with 1,400 stars. So it is a rather large game with potential for a very long-term playthrough. We started with just a single planet. Over here, excuse me. Okay, we started with just a single planet and no space technology. We have to research everything from scratch. We had a bunch of planets in our solar system about which we knew nothing. At the start, we managed to build our first spaceport, which allowed us to build other space traveling vessels, and expanded into our solar system. And you can see we have mining stations on most of our solar, most of the solar bodies in our existing system. Looks like this one appears to be damaged. I need to get something to repair that. There's still a couple here that are not completely being mined, but that's fine. We also managed to get our initial warp capacity built. It's a very primitive warp drive, but it does allow us to visit the nearby star systems. And that's about it. What do we have up here? Okay. What the heck? We got a spaceport up here? Why do we have a spaceport up there? I don't remember that happening. Am I on the right game? I guess that's the first question. Yes, we are on the right game because there's our neighbor. Okay, let's look at the log. Did something complete that colony gained? The planet Ziltris 1 has left their empire and joined us. Okay, that happened, I guess, during the very end of the last session, and I completely missed it. So we have 2 colonies. That is a bit of a surprise. That must have happened after my autosave and while I was just answering some questions and things, because I completely missed it. that is fine. I will not complain. So we now have, and we have a new colony governor there as well. So let's take a look at our new fledgling colony. It left its existing empire and joined us. Basically, at the start we had 19 additional pre-warp civilizations on the map. That was apparently one of them, or that was one of the independent races that could appear and disappear over the course of the game. Evidently, let's see, they are a race of Shandar, so they're the same race as I am. They decided that we were strong enough that we should be able to offer protection to them, so they joined our empire. There are 2.8 billion people on that planet. I'll come up here to the colony screen real quick. And this is actually a bit awkward because I don't have the capability to protect them very well. I don't know if I have ships capable of traveling up there. I guess maybe with the spaceport there I might. I'll have to send some ships up there. They are very happy. There's a bonus there that provides some sort of bonus. We'll take a look at him in a minute. The Shandar race gives us a 40 happiness. Shandars give all space ports at the colony a 20% armor strength bonus. And we're going to have to actually go in and retrofit or design a medium spaceport. We haven't designed one, so this was their design. I guess we can take a look at it. Very high level of development. There's recreation and medical facilities there. There's Opal there, and they like the tax rate. 2.8 billion people. So we're going to leave the tax rate as it is. The population is growing at 7.7% right now. We'll leave it that way for now. We'll probably change it later. We do have a negative cash flow at the moment. We'll take a look at where the money is going right now. Although our bonus income just for trade and whatnot just about covers that, and we have a decent amount of money on hand. Let's take a look at our research. We're currently researching point defense weapons with an eye of going to starfighters and down this line all the way up to tactical interceptors, which will allow us to build carriers. We're not ready to do that yet because we still need, well, one, we need hyperdrive, and two, we need to increase our ship size capacity. Right now we're stuck with a 230 ship size max, which is extremely small. So we've got those queued up. Hyperdrive, can we crash it yet? We don't have enough money to crash the research yet, so we'll be looking at doing that as soon as possible. Over here in high-tech industrial, we're doing cruise systems, which will upgrade our support size from 60 to 85 for life support and habitation modules. Basically means we can use fewer habitation modules and life support per ship size. After which we have countermeasures, and then finally colonization queued up, and we'll have our first colonial capability after that point. I'm not going to worry about, I could move that up in the queue, but these two are fairly quick research projects. 480k compared to almost 4 million research points required for colonization. So we're going to finish those first two first. Let's see. We take a look at our colony screen. Okay, we do see that we have a hidden pirate base on the new new colony, so we'll have to get rid of that at some point. We can also see at our capital we are at max population. We maxed out at 27 billion people, so it's not going to grow anymore. That's fine. With that in mind, we'll bump our tax rate up to a slightly higher amount. We can get away with that. Taxes are too high, -5. That'll jump up to maybe a -10 or 12 or so. Still, we have a 43 happiness, so they're not going to complain too much here. I also want to take a look at the new colony governor. And we'll take a look at all of our leaders, or all of our special characters right now. We have an ambassador. He is at the Shandar Harmony, which is the little race here next to us, with a diplomacy and tourism income bonus. The new colony governor, we don't know much about. I think we'll wait until we find out a little bit more about him before we decide whether or not to move him. We have a fleet admiral. He is not assigned to a fleet yet, mainly because my ships are not powerful enough to protect him. He's also got a fighter bonus, which really doesn't help, and a hyper jump speed bonus, which only marginally helps us at this point. So we're going to wait till we can build a proper fleet. We've got one intelligence agent stealing the territory map of one of the new races we've encountered via the pirates. Another one just sitting on counter-espionage, trying to prevent enemy action. Our leader is, well, poor. Don't know how else to say it. Very poor leader. But a lot of the skills have the capability to grow over time. He is about our 4th or 5th leader already, so we are going through leaders quite often. We're only 21 years into the game. And like I said, he's about our 5th leader, so got a couple scientists with bonuses to high tech and energy there. He is on the I'm not sure which research, the high tech research station there. I probably need to rename that so I know. And this one with an energy and weapons research bonuses at our energy research station. Ship captains just controlling the ships. Good morning, welcome. Yes, this has been a very fun game for years for me. I'm glad to see they got it up on Steam finally, and that was actually a late decision in the process of this 4th and final expansion for the Distant Worlds 1 franchise. I really hope you enjoy it. I know, like I said, I've enjoyed it for years. It's been around for quite a while. Certainly, if you have any questions as you start through your game, feel free to ask. I don't know everything about the game, despite the length of time I've played it, but I certainly know a bit, and I'll answer what questions I can. And finally, we have a troop general at home. Okay, so is there anything else we need to do at this point? We'll take a oops. So we got a whole lot of militia at that plant colony that just joined us. I'll probably end up dropping some of that. That's where my cash flow. Oh yeah, we wanted to look at cash flow. So over here on the Empire summary screen. Yes. Yeah, there's a few good series out there. Larry Montes has been a really good series. He's on his 2nd series now, starting off with Universe. Mine is being hosted on YouTube as well, although I prefer the streaming where I can interact with people. Okay, so looking at the cash flow, we have our private sector, which appears to be doing fairly well. They have 8 billion cash on hand, with an annual revenue of well, something over 642. This is year to date right now. Yeah. He's. I've been enjoying his playthroughs as well. Okay, so they have a year-to-date revenue of 642,000. They're paying 79,000 to me in taxes, which you can see over here in my government income. They're paying 31,000 for their ship and base maintenance, and they've paid 1,000 in fuel costs. So they have a cash flow of 530,000. Our income is based primarily on the colony taxes. Again, their 79,000 they've paid over here is over on our ledger. We are not getting anything from tribute right now, although we do have some income from Spaceport and resort locations that we've built, we have an income there as well. We're paying $12,000 in troop maintenance and $38,000 in pirate protection, which is where the bulk of our cash outflow is. We're going to leave this go for a bit. Again, I just bumped the taxes up. We just absorbed a second colony, so we'll see how our cash flow stabilizes. We already took a look at potential colonies. There are 2 here which the pirates are vying for control of. 2 or 3 different pirate factions are vying for control there. And again, my fleet is not sufficient at this point to do anything there. But those are our known colony locations. Known scenic locations. There's one in our neighboring Shandar race there. And we've got a couple in our own system. And research. Now that we may take advantage of if I can get some ships up here to protect. It looks like we picked up 2 construction ships when that race joined us as well. Did we pick up... Okay, let's take a look at the designs of these ships. They have Garrick's hyperdrive. Oh my. We're going to take a look and see what other ships we might have picked up, and any of them with Garrick's hyperdrive we may try to disassemble and try to boost our... Let me verify. I'm pretty sure we don't have Garrick's hyperdrive yet. We do not. So the colony that joined us has better technology than we do. Interesting. Did we pick up any military ships when they joined us? Easiest way to tell is to open the ships and bases screen, go to military ships, and sort. No, we didn't pick up any military ships. Those are all our builds. Okay, no big deal. We did... What other ships did we pick up? I'm sure they have some civilian ships which we can't do anything with. But the construction ship has a Garrick's hyperdrive. That is huge. Let's see. We got no colony ships. I didn't think so. No resupply ships. So let's go back to the construction ship. Did we get more than one civil construction ship? Construction yards. Okay, so we've got 4 construction ships. Turn these off of auto. We have a spaceport on auto? Okay. Let me see if I can figure out which ones are my designs and which ones are theirs. CST1, CST1, CST1 space dock, CST1 space dock. I think the CST1 construction ships are my design. The CST1 space docks are their design. So let's take a look at that design. I am using the 40 race. Just a second, I'll link it to you. There is a mod out there that provides 40 full races. And that's what I am using. There's another one that I'm looking at potentially using, but this is the one I'm using right now. It adds a total of 40 races to the game, which makes for, and each of the races have their own personalities and everything, which makes for a bit more what's the word I'm looking for? No problem. Variety in the game, long-term gameplay. Okay, let's go back and we're going to go and just disassemble one of those construction ships and see if we can get a boost to our Garruk's hyperdrive. Make sure that's... Okay, you're on repair mission. I don't want to... Okay, that's the spaceports, military ships, construction ship. Why? Okay. I'm going to cancel your current mission and retire you at the nearest starbase instead, and see if we can get a boost to our hyperdrive capability. Okay, well, gaining that colony at the end of that last session is absolutely huge. Let's take a look at our victory condition screen. We've actually dropped down to second in the victory conditions overall, but we still have a minimum of 30 years before victory conditions come into play. We have eliminated one enemy empire. That's interesting, since we didn't eliminate anybody, they just voluntarily joined us, but hey, we got an achievement for it. Population, we have the highest population by about 20%. Territory, okay, these people up here are either invading or they already have colonial colonization capability, because they now have 3 colonies. Or maybe something happened to where same thing happened to me, somebody just joined them because of their relative strength. Our economy is slightly ahead of everybody but the Ancient Guardians. Our strategic value is at the top, and our obviously our military firepower is low, and that's by design, because I'm not designing ships until I get my hyperdrive and maybe my next ship size capability, which those are the 2 items in the current queue. So right now we're 35% through Garruk's hyperdrive. With any luck, disassembling the ship will give us a huge boost toward that hyperdrive capability. As mentioned, this was an Age of Shadows start, which is a pre-warp. Not the easiest to start, but the easiest to get into long term, just because you know everything that's going on right from the start. I am currently running everything on manual, yes. As the game gets more advanced, I will probably semi-automate a few things and let my advisors make some suggestions to me, but at the moment everything is on full manual. Okay, taking a look, I said at the top when we were going through the basic screens that my cash flow had a negative, was showing a negative 12,000, but my primary capital colony maxed out and we assimilated that second colony, so I was going to let the cash flow stabilize and see where we ended up. And you can see up here we now have a positive 62,000 in cash flow, and the main reason for that is our colony tax revenue jumped from, I think it was like 42,000 or something like that, to 154,000. So our cash flow is quite sufficient for the time being, despite the fact we're paying out about 30,000 or so. Well, it was probably double that, 60,000 a year in pirate protection, and 38,000 11 months in, so about 45,000 maybe a year in pirate protection. So our big thing here is there's 2 colonies here that we're going to want to try to get control of when we can. We've got pirates attacking our new colony. Okay, they're doing a raid there. That's fine. I'm going to try to build, see if I can send a couple ships up there. Okay, perfect. We have received a research bonus in hyperdrive technology from disassembling that. So that boosted our hyperdrive from 33% to 83%. At this point, we're going to crash research the rest of it. Cost me 160,000 credits, but it'll triple the research speed of the remainder of that hyperdrive, and then we can build proper military ships and exploration ships and all of that. So we will be going through a ship retrofit design here very shortly. Let's take a look. They have landed. Their landing troops are doing a raid here. We have 243,000 defenders. And we have successfully fended off that raid on our colony. Okay, we've got a spaceport completed up here. What we will do, we're going to build a couple system defense ships here. We'll build 2 each frigates, and no, actually I want to do it this way. Let's go into the construction yard screen and select this specific spaceport and queue them up here. Otherwise I'll end up building some at my home station and some here. So the nice thing about this is there's multiple ways to access a lot of the screens. The default method for building ships would be go to your ship build order here and just order ships. But that gives you no control over where the ships are built if you do it that way. If you want to build ships at specific locations, then you go into the actual construction yard screen, or just open up. I could have opened up the spaceport here too and done it this way. Double click on the spaceport. Either way, it brings you to a construction yard screen and order them at that specific construction yard. That will ensure the ships are built where you want them, and that's important if you have a need at a specific location. Okay, we have encountered an abandoned starbase adrift in the Erdmantil minor system. Let's investigate that base. We have investigated it. We have boarded it. It appears to be in good working order. We have boarded it and taken control. So we have a base of some type. There's also navigational directions pointing to the desert planet Zartan Junction 3 in the Zartan Junction system in sector F15. So let's take a look at where that is. F13. So it's actually nearby. We want to take an exploration ship there as soon as we possibly can. And with that in mind, we will come up here to this colony and build an exploration ship here as well. That's not the spaceport. Let's select the spaceport and build an exploration ship. Okay, so that's 5 ships being built up there at the moment. Good morning, everybody. Those that that have joined here in the last few minutes, welcome. Okay, in the meantime, let's take a look at what this base is. It is a star base orbiting a ocean planet with the resource of dilithium crystal. Let's take a look at the design of this star base here. Okay, it's got a command center. It's got fusion reactors, so those are advanced. Ultra-dense fuel cells, those are advanced. A rad coupler, what the heck is that? It's a docking bay. Extremely advanced. Massive cargo bays, extremely advanced. Standard energy collectors, commerce centers. A medical center, that's extremely advanced. Targeting system. ECM, long-range scanner. Okay, we're going to hang on to this ship, I think, for now. And a stealth cloak. At some point, we will disassemble this for a tech boost. But I like having that long-range scanner in an area where there's a lot of pirate activity. That's going to be a kind of a potentially a jumping off point for me getting into some of these other sectors. And we can see the Ancient Guardians are active already. right? These are the Ancient Guardians. They are. They have a fleet active. Do we know where their home is? Oh, that's not what I wanted to have. Diplomacy. Ancient Guardians have an unknown capital. But it certainly looks like... I think this is where we originally... No, it obviously isn't there. Their path of travel means they're probably on one of these two planets. They have some sort of outpost out over there. Yeah, that's the nice thing about me. I'm retired. I make my own hours for what I do for a living. I can be sick any day I want. Okay, so we do have completed missions out here. They finally finished exploration of this system. And there's a lot of gas giants, a couple with Caslon, which is the early game fuel. But let's see, let's do it this way and zoom out and see if there's anything else there we really need. Okay, come on. Okay, that's a listing of all of the resources there. Okay, so that exploration ship will now refuel, and it should refuel in system since we have a Caslon base here. And our first autosave. While this is saving, I am going to take a quick AFK and go grab myself some coffee. I will be right back. Okay, and I am back. Let's see. So we had that exploration ship finish its mission, and it's going to refuel. That's the same exploration ship. Okay, let's take a look. Got a construction ship with no mission. I think that just repaired this mining station. It did. I am missing some of the okay, it didn't give me a notification that it completed. Oh well, no big deal. So this construction ship is the one with... Oh no, that's my local one. Yeah, the mining station is the one that was damaged, and it is repaired, and it is not got full hyperdrive, so we're going to keep it fairly local here. Let's take a look and see what resources are around. I know there wasn't a lot. This was a very bad starting location. For those that weren't... oh, well, thank you. You'll find this entire series as well as my EU4 series that'll start up next week with that expansion fully posted on YouTube. Okay, yeah, we had a very poor starting location, actually. For those that missed yesterday's and might not have caught up on the YouTube. First of all, we started off with a neighbor in the system immediately adjacent to us, which has a bit of a crimp on our expansion. We have no expansion to the south. There's nothing but gas clouds down there. We're in a decent sized cluster, not huge, but decent size, but obviously there were at least 3 starting race colonies here. And we had a whole line of colony of star systems here with 0 planets, 0 moons, 0 resources. There's like 7 of them here with no planets, moons, or resources. So a rather poor starting location. And our colonization range, I have it set at a sector and a half limitation for colonization. So actually gaining this colony here is a bit huge, because that does give us the capability of getting at least out to the these EFG 12 range. But what I really need is something here, one of these systems, to have colonial capacity in order for me to jump into one of these other sector clusters up here. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to be able to open up our exploration quite a bit here in just a bit. We're 14% from completion of our full hyperdrive. I don't know that I like you going and building mining stations up there, but we'll have to make do for now. Right now, also, there's only one pirate faction, I think, that we're actually having any kind of fights with, and that's the Cruel Corsairs. I'm not sure who it was that tried to invade up here. It's the Cruel Corsairs. Of course it is. And they have a small spaceport there, so they are the first on tap to get squashed once I have the slightly better ship capacity. Small spaceport with unknown capacity at this point. I don't think I'll look at the Guardians go with their 13th Strike Force heading. So we've seen the 2nd Strike Force and the 13th Strike Force. They've got to be at this planet here. What's the range of our scanners? So this little white area here is the range of that long-range scanner picked up on the spaceport that we just acquired. Okay, we have successfully evaded detection after successfully stolen the territory map of the Cacadian Major Consortium. So let's zoom out and see where they are. They're this Tikans rodent family based on the Cacadian Major. So they are over here, and at least at the moment they are limited to their... Oh wow, talk about a bad starting location. Oh my. I would... If I were them and I had just started this game, I would be restarting it. Hello Nougat, how are you doing? Yeah, actually, funny enough, when I logged on this morning, evidently after the autosave yesterday, but while I was answering questions and before I did the final save, something happened that I completely missed. We had a character killed. Oh, we killed a character. A couple things happened, evidently, while I was just answering questions, but I had let everything run. One of them is this planet here, Ziltras 1, left their empire and joined us, and I had absolutely no idea that it had happened. When I logged on this morning, it's like, how do I have 2 colonies? I had to go back through the event log to find out. Hello, Larry. Welcome. And thanks for the kind words on the channel, by the way. Yeah, I was watching his vids this morning before I fired this up, too. Okay, so we've just evaded. So we know where they are now. We could send an ambassador out there or something else. God, they started in a terrible location. And we know where they are, and right now they are the leaders. These guys have 3 colonies. Yes, it's been a long-term thing for me too, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, let's take a quick look. We have a construction ship with no mission. We are just about to get Garrick's hyperdrive, so we're going to keep him somewhat local if we can. There's a moon here that we can grab some gold, and I don't know if that was steel or Aculon on. By the time he is done with that, we will have Garrick's hyperdrive. Steel. Well, like I said, I am ecstatic that they got it on Steam because it has taken off quite well from everything I've been reading. Hit as high as 4th on the Steam sales list yesterday after release. I haven't looked. Have you gotten Part 8 up yet, Larry, for your new series? I caught Part 7 right after you posted it. Okay, critical breakthrough research and countermeasures. And that's what I like about streaming some of these games as well. I mean, I started streaming this a couple weeks before Universe went live just to put it out there. At that time, I didn't even know it was getting hosted on Steam. Cool. I will certainly have to catch that. Okay, exploration ship refueled. Let's go ahead and let's see where we can get from here. Not far. Actually, I don't want to go too far because, again, we'll be retrofitting it. In fact, I'm going to send him back and get him ready for retrofit now. No reason sending him elsewhere when I'm 5% from hyperdrive completion. In fact, I will do that with all of my ships that aren't active in a exploration. Resource none. Resources, so this one looks like it might have finished its exploration. Nope, not quite yet. And let's see what this one is doing. I'm going to have to download the graphics enhancement mod, gem, whatever version it is, and get the planets. Yes, it is Universe. It's okay. I had I did the same thing. I had on my my playthrough that I was running immediately prior to Universe's release. I kept calling it Legends when it was actually Shadows. So. Okay, we'll let those two finish exploring their respective systems. My colony ships will be done with what they're doing here shortly. Okay, we found a lost ship location after destroying the... We destroyed a pirate base? What the heck? What's going on that I don't know about? E14. Okay, let's that's also fairly near. E14. Okay, that's in. They haven't repaired their starter ship yet. Or maybe they have, I don't see it here. Okay, did we destroy their spaceport or a mining station up here? Okay, I'm confused. I don't know where we destroyed a station. Almost had to be like a mining station in here. Oh, we destroyed their spaceport. Okay, I remember I had just built 2 frigates and 2 escorts up here in this system. and the colony that just joined us in order just for some protection here. The one thing I do have under the options, see if I can find it here. It's not quite a... There's an option in the game to automate all of your ships as they are built, and that's what happened. And I'm going to leave it that way for now. That's fine. I just hadn't realized that they were built or that they would go and attack a spaceport, but they did. Pretty good, Samantha. How are you doing? Well, it's now out on Steam. They made it easy for you. This is the 4th and final expansion in the game. Until, well, in the Distant Worlds 1 game, anyway. Glad to see you. Haven't seen you around in a while. Of course, I've been on and off myself, so that's not a surprise. Somebody is giving me money in display of our benevolent superiority. 1,600 credits. Final expansion of Distant Worlds 1. Distant Worlds 2 is already under in design, as I understand it. Okay, 97%. We are not going to do any other missions with any of our ships or bases until we finish this Garex hyperdrive. I'm still going to move everything down here. Actually, this one I'll move. This one can retrofit up here. You know what? I have no idea what resources are at this planet right now. Since it was an existing pre-Empire colony, I imagine they have a decent number of resources here. We can take a look at the cargo. Actually, they do not have any silicon gold polymer. That's the only shortages they have. They have a countermeasure system. Interesting. Okay, so we'll send one construction ship up that way for retrofit. Ship auto under Empire options, yeah. Like I said, I'm going to keep it that way. I will show it for those that want to have that automation capability. I didn't think it was under policy. I thought I found it under something else. Yeah, for those that just joined, I have absolutely everything on manual control at the moment. But the nice thing about this game, for those that are new to it, you don't have to be overwhelmed because you can control as little or as much of the game as you like. 98%, and we've completed countermeasures, which means we are starting colonization research now. And there is our hyperdrive. Let us go do some design and retrofit. We've discovered the grand retreat of Ubus Junction, ancient ruins from a lost civilization at the volcanic moon Espaoak in the Ubus Junction system. Our sensors indicate they have lain undisturbed for centuries. Let us investigate. Galactic history revealed. In the grand retreat of Ubus Junction, we have made a curious discovery. A data core found in the ruins contains a message that reveals historical details from the galaxy's distant past. The message appears to be confidential intelligence reports describing the arrival of a new empire in the galaxy. Goltak Republic Classified Analysis, the Shaktur Axis. The Shaktur Axis arrived in our galaxy approximately 10 years ago. They have quickly established a reputation for cruelty and aggression. We should proceed with extreme caution in any dealings with them They are totally untrustworthy. The Shakturi clearly tend to dominate all around them. They demonstrate utter contempt for their neighbors. Their treatment of the Akturkian kingdom is a prime example of their brutality. We strongly suspect the Shakturi are also secretly working to overthrow all of the empires in their region. What their subsequent objective is remains unclear at this stage. One of the storylines has triggered. And I do have all of the storylines enabled in this game, by the way. Each expansion had their own storyline to go along with it. Okay, time to go into ship design. We'll start with the state ships. And first thing we're going to do, we don't really have to auto-upgrade the designs because we don't have any upgrades to existing technology. We do have, I take that back, for our escorts we can upgrade to standard fuel cells as a minimum. So auto-upgrading will take any existing technology, such as the fuel cells or reactors, that you have an improvement for and automatically change to the improved form. Oh, okay, the hyperdrives are included in that as well. I take that back. So we now have fuel cells and the Garrux hyperdrive. Ship size is 158. Our max is 230, so that's a good size for an escort. You can see that we now have a range of 2.3 sectors. We have a max hyperdrive speed of 12,500, which is the max hyperspeed of a Garrux hyperdrive. So I want to keep it as close to max speed for the military ships as possible. If I were to remove a reactor, that would drop down to half, so we want to keep it. Next on tap is to upgrade our space reactors, but that's after the ship size, I think. Let's just take a quick look down our list of components. I don't think there's any upgrades here we need to put onto an escort class ship. I'm not worried about countermeasures or targeting systems for the escorts. The frigates are the smallest ship I will probably put any of that on. Okay, we do have assault pods, so when we get a build a destroyer class, we'll probably add some assault pods. We still have ion thrusters. Yeah, okay, 42 firepower escort is sufficient, so we will go ahead, save that design, go to the frigate, and we'll manually upgrade this just to show the difference. This one already had standard fuel cells on. It's at max size. Let's see what happens when we pull the warp drive and add a Garrux hyperdrive. It takes it's one size higher, so we'll pull a single armor off. Actually, we're going to pull a couple armors off because we want to add a targeting system to this ship. That puts us at max speed, gives us a range of 4.5 sectors roughly, which 2.25 out, 2.25 back, that is sufficient for the current class ship. It's got this is a missile armed ship with a 48 firepower. And what I'm thinking about doing with this is maybe pulling the Maxos blasters off. It would be 15 firepower and adding... No, I can't add one graviton doing that. Unless I pulled missiles off as well. Okay, until we get our new ship size, I think that'll be sufficient for this one. We're not going to bother with the destroyer. Exploration ships, however, we will. We're just going to auto-upgrade these designs. I do want to take a look at the max range of these ships, however. Okay, exploration ship has a max range of 11 sectors. That is more than enough for my purposes at this stage. So we'll get out of there. The construction ships are the one that I like to kind of limit the sectors on. I do not need 15 sector range on them. The problem with this, I mean, it sounds great, right? The problem with this is they're going to go 6 sectors out to mine something that they think you need when you really don't need it. So I like to limit these to about a 6 sector range. That's, again, 3 out and 3 back. It might even be a little too much. I'm going to pull one more off. 5.5 is sufficient. I like to keep the construction ships a little bit under control. Pirates love attacking and capturing them, and they obviously don't have much in the way to defend themselves. I do have shields and armor on the ship. I don't think I need to change anything else. One thing I did play with for these is I'm going to add, what are the size of them? I'm going to add one additional of each type of plant. Which will improve their speed of construction and repair, etc. So our manufacturing capability has jumped up to 60k from 30k. Docking bay, construction yard. I don't think I really need to change. I guess we'll add one construction yard for the same reason. Okay, 528. So the overall size changed a little bit, but not much. That is fine. Our speed. I'm not going to worry about the speeds until I get the new engines. Okay, so that's all of our military ships. And we will go through and also upgrade the civilian. Actually, I'm going to hold off upgrading the civilian ships until I get all my retrofits complete of my own ships. And easiest way to do this is, first of all, go into my fleet design. The fleet here, retrofit the latest designs there. Then go to the individually unfleeted ships and just come up here and click the retrofit button for each. Do the same thing for the construction ships that are not busy. Yep, that one's not busy, it's just moving up to the other. And the same thing for the exploration ships. Once all of those retrofits are finished, we will upgrade our civilian fleet. Okay, let's turn our Empire influence on, and you can see I'd love to get these guys to join me. They're the same race. We have, what do we have, a pirate out there? A pirate construction ship. Too bad we don't have a class capable of capturing ships at the moment. That's fine. Okay, you can see the retrofits are starting to toggle through. They go fairly quickly because there wasn't a lot of changes. Okay, exploration ship done. Let us ooh, sounds like a lot of fun. Have a good day, and looking forward to going through your series as well. Thanks for joining. Okay, it looks like we have this system fully explored, right? Nope, we do not. Okay, let us go ahead and finish exploring this system. And that should just about finish. Okay, we got another Ancient Guardian fleet. They're extremely active, aren't they? North, south, east, west. I can't tell what they're doing. I don't know, maybe they're attacking pirates for me. You too. A quick look at our construction yards. I think we're done with one's got nothing docked, and that one has one ship left in retrofit. Okay, so we can go ahead and safely upgrade our civilian ships now. And just do it this way. I want to take a quick look at them. Okay, and for the civilian ships, I don't worry about maxing their hyperspeed. You know what? I did not look at that for the other ships, other than the first military ship we did. I should go back and look at the construction ships in particular. Range of 5 and half full speed. That's fine for my civilian ships. Cargo bit capacity is fine. We haven't done anything with the large freighter yet. We will take a quick look at this. It's still a pre-warp. Let's go ahead and manually upgrade that and see what it turns out to be. Add the hyperdrive and add... Okay, it didn't for some reason upgrade my cargo bays. Interesting. So let's pull the cargo bays off and add the standard cargo bay. Gives it a capacity of 5,000. Size is 184, so we can still build it. Same thing with the fuel cells. Pull those off. And for these guys, I like adding a little bit of shield and armor. So we'll add 1 shield and 1 armor. Size is 199, so that is a buildable design. So we'll go with that. Passenger ship. Oh, we just hit our save point. 50 kilometer